Hey there, it's Pete Checkley for SampleLibraryReview.com, and today I'm checking out Strezov Sampling's Taiko X3M. The Taiko X3M instrument was released 2 years ago, and it's a sample set of traditional, theatrical and ceremonial solo taikos. In recent years, there have been many instruments that offer the epic taiko sound, so how does Strezov's Taiko X3M hold up? Is it a hit or a miss? The Taiko X3M downloads at 3.18 gigabytes and has 8 instrument ensembles. It uses a custom engine that allows users to load the instruments of their choosing into any of the 12 customizable keyboard zones. There are 3 mic positions, 3 EQ bands, pitch, transient attack and transient sustain controls. There are independent volume and pan controls for each zone. Normally this instrument sells for €149, but currently it's on offer for €59. If you go over to the Strezov sampling website, you'll find a lot of demos which feature the taikos on their own or with very minimal instruments. Now these are all incredible demos and really show off the instrument. Now I chose to put the taiko instrument in a setting that I'd probably use it, which is a bit of an orchestral epic type scenario. So the sounds you heard were completely out the box, no processing. I just used the EQ on my mastering chain to affect the global sound. What's very apparent straight out the box is that the Taikos X3M sound incredibly big, epic and full. Easily you can use this instrument to carry an entire piece. In that piece they are the only percussive elements aside from the cymbals and the timpani rolls. Now looking at the GUI, it's really straightforward. In the top left you have your 3 microphone positions, so I have all of those on at the moment. You have a choice of close, Decker and hall, and then you have your instrument zones. Now the instrument zones correspond with the zones on the keyboard. So at the moment there are 9 zones loaded up, which means if you look at the keyboard below, you can see the 9 different zones separated by colour. Now if I start off down the bottom, you can hear the blue sample set. Okay, and then if I move up into the next instrument, you'll hear the red sample set. And so on and so forth. Now at the moment, I'm not hitting the instrument incredibly hard because it will pick it up on the microphone. So what I'm going to do is turn off the mic and play through some presets. Now on the left, I've loaded all of the multi-instrument patches, so you can see me change preset and play some different rhythms using the different kits. So that's some of the multi-patches which come with Taikos X3M. And out of the box, like I say, they sound great. Some things I really, really like is you can do a roll and use the velocity wheel to increase the volume, the dynamics, and it gives that real human element. That sounds great. The range of instruments and playing styles is very, very varied. There's a lot to be found in here. So overall, I'm really, really impressed. Another thing that really impresses me is when you load the instrument up, it's not too loud. It is an epic instrument and they can sound really, really big. But the initial volume, I mean, I'm at 0 dB on my track and nothing sounds too loud. They're not trying to blow my monitors or give me a headache with my headphones. It's a really pleasant volume to work with. Now, sometimes accidents happen, and with other libraries, I've had the odd really loud hit, and I can't see this happening with Taikos X3M. So it loads at a really good level. Now, when I play these instruments in, normally I do use a set of drum pads. I'm not hugely into hitting my MIDI controller. So what you can do, these zones, when you zone them onto your drum pads, you can flick between them really, really quickly on the fly, or you can record multiple passes. But the other thing that's really, really impressed me is the round robins and the level of dynamics. So it's very, very expressive. You can hear the volume change depending how hard I hit the keyboard is very responsive. Another great feature is you can load an empty instance of Taikos X3M and you can create your own kit. So as you can see down here, there is nothing on the keyboard at the moment apart from the round robin reset button. Now, if I go to zone 1 and just click on it, you can then decide what you want to put in there. So I'm going to take, let's go with some combinations, Shogun. Now it's mapped down the bottom. You can hear it there. When I go to the next one, that's locked in as blue. So if I want a Taiko solo, and I want some flams, so you can hear the flams are working there. If I go to 3, let's go for some metals. Yeah, Manflesh. Sounds great. And you can see that I'm building my own kit as I go through. So let's just add a few more. And let's get some high. And let's just do 2 more. It's got some rolls. There we go. Now, if I just close that very quickly, I now have all of my kits. Okay, so it's really, really versatile. If you do have a quick look, there are so many different options of what you can put in. So for me, I always talk about value for money. Well, that represents massive value for money because you can build your own kits. It saves a lot of looking for presets or trying to build your own presets. It's all in there for you. Now, you can change the volume of each set of instruments, and of course you can pan left and right, and you can also do a 3-band EQ if you wish to. Well, that's a really quick run through Taikos X3M. Now, there's so much that's impressed me about this instrument. The Amount of articulations is fantastic. So the variety of different instruments, there's so much you can do with this instrument. It's not all about just big sounds. This ceremonial instruments can allow to create rhythms in a much quieter and more intricate setting. Now, I love the velocity control, the dynamic response. I like the fact you can use the mod wheel for the rolls. I really love the zoning. Now, as I say, I use a drum machine normally. I love the fact you can just zone to your pads, and then you can switch as you need to, or you can build your instrument to fit around your pads. Even on the keyboard, it's really straightforward to play, but I find this zoning idea just really, really accessible. Now, who do I think this instrument's for? It's for anyone who loves incredible sampled instruments. So for cinematic composers, for video game composers, TV shows, this will work really, really well. And with some outboard effects, you can create some absolutely huge sounds. Now, I didn't use any different effects. I wanted to play this out the box, but I can imagine stacking up these drums, you're going to create some really, really impressive instruments. Very big, very epic, and very, very intricate rhythms. So for me, I completely recommend. I think it's a bargain at this price, and you won't be disappointed with your purchase. Thank you so much for watching the video and checking out the instrument. As I say, Taikos X3M, absolutely great instrument, total recommendation. Now, feel free to leave me a like, feel free to leave me a comment. How would you use this instrument? What do you like about it? Would it go into your workflow? Please go over to samplelibraryreview.com to check out everything to do with virtual instruments, and have a great day. Thank you so much.